What's going on, guys and gals? Your main man, Pete here, back in town, back in business. And today, I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about a routine that I started about 6 months ago. A ritual. Something that I do every single day, every evening after dinner. And in doing this, over time, my life has literally transformed. And I guarantee this one small addition to your day, every day, could transform your mentality, your outlook, your body, your life. So flow with me. About 6 months ago, I was doing a lot of research in regards to walking. Going for a nice, long 3 to 4 mile walk every single day, no matter what, right after dinner. Even if it's raining, snowing, freezing cold, hot, sunny, it doesn't matter. Every single day for the last 6 months, I walked as soon as I finished dinner. I would take my husky for a 3 to 4 mile walk every single day. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened. Because I read this book last year that basically summed up all the benefits of walking. And I couldn't believe how many benefits the human body obtains through simply walking. And after thinking about it, I realized it makes sense. Walking is more beneficial than even jogging or running. Cardiovascular training, walking is actually better, especially if you go for long walks. And allow me to explain and elaborate just a bit. The first thing I noticed after a few weeks of walking every single day after dinner, and you have to make sure it's every day. If you plan on applying this ritual to your life, you have to be consistent. And not only will it benefit you, but it's actually going to benefit your dog. If you have a dog, take your dog with you. I highly recommend doing this, in that your dog is going to become so much calmer. My husky is so calm. And it's crazy because I remember when she used to bug me to go for walks. These days, I have to actually go up to her crate and drag her out of her crate to go for a walk because I overwalk her. I don't take a day off from this ritual. And I'm very ritualistic. I'm very consistent. I'm a creature of habit. And when I start to do something, I have to keep doing it, especially when I start to feel benefits, positive benefits. And the benefits are astounding. So the first thing I noticed was that my body fat just started to melt. And each week, as I progressed, each week as I continued walking and bumping it up, because I started originally with 3 and then eventually worked my way up to 4 or 5. But then I noticed that I was actually losing way too much body fat. I was losing way too much weight, and it was affecting my weightlifting, my bodybuilding, my powerlifting, my strength. I realized that I was walking way too much and losing so much weight. I couldn't even control my metabolism. My metabolism was skyrocketing to the extent of I had to actually eat more oatmeal in the morning every day when I wake up and oatmeal in the evening just to continue gaining weight or to maintain my weight. It's actually very hard for me to gain weight now that I started walking so consistently. So that's the first thing I noticed. My body fat was just melting. I got so lean. lost a lot of weight. And if you're walking to lose weight, this is probably the most ideal thing you can do. If you're doing this, or you seek to do this to lose weight, lose body fat, get leaner, burn body fat, this is probably the best thing you could possibly do. But make sure it's 3 miles minimum. And I want you to start at a decent pace. I don't want you to walk slow. I want you to walk at a moderate pace. And then as you progress and you start getting better at walking and your joints start to feel good, your hips feel good, your knees, your ankles, your feet, everything. When you start feeling more durable and stronger, which you will over time, I want you to start walking faster, to the extent of going out and fast walking. You're not jogging or running. You're just walking at a very fast pace, ultimately. And I promise you're going to lose weight. Like I had just mentioned previously, it got to the point where I actually had to walk a bit less. So I only walk 3 miles per day now after dinner. And I actually had to walk less because I was losing so much weight. And it gets to the point where I start losing so much body fat that my face starts to get really lean and my face actually sinks. And as you can see, my cheekbones are much sharper. I look younger. I look more chiseled. And in the photos that I'm going to present to you guys and gals, my core got absolutely shredded. All the striations from all the weightlifting for the last 10 years really started to show. My speed and my movement, my athleticism, my explosiveness. Probably the best it's ever been in years. I have never felt as fast as I do right now. It's incredible. And I lost over 15 pounds doing this summer. It's mind-boggling. So if you're looking to lose weight, this is the ticket. Walk 3 miles every single day. I know it might seem like a lot at first, but I promise once you get used to it, you start thinking, and that leads me to the second benefit. Organizing your thoughts. Walking teaches you to organize your mentality, organize your thoughts. In that, while you're walking, your mind tends to wander. And what I do is, I actually like to organize the next day. I usually walk right after dinner, around 1800. So I utilize that time on my walk to plan my entire next day. Think of things that I have to do productively. Think of college classes or projects that I need to bang out, clients that I need to call, orders that I have to do, business, YouTube. And I find that I'm more productive the day after a good walk, especially if I walked over 3 miles, in that I had the opportunity to organize my mind and plan my day. It's a fantastic way to plan the following day. So make sure when you go for your walk, don't think about negative things. Don't think about pessimistic things. Don't think about anything that's derogatory. In fact, if you find yourself doing that, I want you to acknowledge that you did it and just simply disregard it. Remove it from your mind. Remove that negativity from your mind and get rid of it. Throw it out. Destroy it. Eliminate it from your mentality. And then start thinking about things that benefit you, uplift you, positive things, things you need to accomplish and do. And I promise you're going to start accomplishing these things. You're going to start being a more productive human being through walking and planning your following day. It's that effective. It truly is. I find it's one of the most effective ways to enhance my mentality. Now, the third thing that I really enjoyed through walking 3+ miles every single day, and I'm not talking 3 miles throughout the day. That's not effective. Smaller walks throughout the day don't count. That's not what I'm talking about. You have to walk 3 miles all at once at a good pace, 3+ miles right after dinner. And according to the research that I've done numerous times, the best time is actually right after dinner. Because typically when people eat late dinners or dinners in the evening, of which we typically do, a lot of those extra carbohydrates, macronutrients we consume and don't utilize, we store as body fat. And when we go to bed, our body utilizes most of it to recover and repair. But then a lot of times we end up storing a lot of it as visceral fat or body fat ultimately. But if you go for that walk right after dinner, you're burning any extra excess calories your body doesn't need, which is why you get so lean so fast. The third benefit for me, I slept better. And the reason why is I find that when I don't walk, I toss and turn a lot. My legs seem to be restless. They want to move constantly. And I think that's from all the excess calories from bulking, just excess energy in general from not training enough at the gym. If you're healthy and you're young, you know what I'm talking about. Typically you have a lot of extra energy pent up. It's hard to sleep. And we need our 8 hours. It's so important. Sleep is life. You must sleep to be healthy. You must sleep to enable the best possible version of yourself in life ultimately. So this helped me sleep. Walking 3+ miles all at once per day, right after dinner, especially after dinner, burnt a bunch of excess calories, and it just calmed me down in the evening. I found that when I would lay down and go to bed, I could pass out faster. I didn't toss and turn as much while I was in bed. This is such an integral part of my life now that I actually need it. I literally need it to thrive. It enhances my life that much. And I know it's going to enhance yours. But if you're someone looking to build muscle and pack on a lot of strength, you can still do this. In fact, I highly recommend you do this because it's going to enhance your cardiovascular training. And if you're bulking, you're not going to gain any extra body fat. In fact, when I start bulking throughout this walking phase, I don't gain any body fat, but I do gain strength, which means I'm gaining muscle mass ultimately. So if you're a power lifter, weightlifter, bodybuilder, this is also really effective because you're going to stay lean throughout the entire year, including when you bulk. And that was one of the biggest things that I didn't like about bodybuilding. When I used to go on bulks, I would gain a bunch of body fat. And I could typically see that body fat around my waist or my lower back, and I hated it. I didn't look as lean, I looked puffier. I couldn't see those striations and veins. And now that I've applied this ritual to my life of walking 3 miles right after dinner, I'm lean all year and I feel good. And these are just 3 benefits, in my opinion, the 3 most impactful and beneficial benefits. Number 1, you're going to lose weight. If you want to lose body fat, this is the ticket. This will burn more body fat than anything else you could possibly do, especially if you're as consistent as I am. If you do it every single day, get a rain jacket if you live in an area of which it rains a lot. I live right next to Seattle. I live in Bremerton in Washington State in the Pacific Northwest. It rains all the time, but I'm always out there with my rain jacket on. I got my Huskier rain jacket. I don't take a day off my 3-mile walk. In fact, I actually love going out and experiencing the elements. And that's the 4th benefit I want to talk about, experiencing the elements. At some point on this 3-mile walk, I want you to take a moment to appreciate nature. If it's raining, I want you to appreciate the rain for just a little bit. Stick your hand out, let your hand get wet. Maybe take off your hood, allow your hair to get a little wet. Just acknowledge that you're in the rain and it makes you feel more alive. Acknowledge if it's cold out, acknowledge if it's hot out. Maybe just acknowledge a few of the trees, some animals. Every now and then I'll just watch the birds, watch the ducks, watch the geese, and just observe and indulge in nature. In that this calms you down and brings you back down to earth. Makes you feel more human. And it's absolutely, positively fantastic. Now the 5th benefit I want to talk about is something that takes a while. In that the longer you do this, the more sensible you become to your routine. I find that in applying this 3-mile walk every single day of my life, I'm more productive throughout the entire day. I sleep better at night, but during the day, I'm actually more productive. I get more done. I think more clearly. I feel that I can memorize things that I never could memorize as easily. Like if I meet a bunch of people on a given day, maybe 6 months ago before I would walk every day, I wouldn't remember every single individual. But now I never forget someone's name. I never forget a number. I never forget anything. I always memorize everything. That's how impactful and beneficial walking can be to your mentality. This is just 5 quick tips, 5 things that I've noticed on my journey walking every single day. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the most effective things you can apply to your lifestyle. It's truly beneficial. And I can go on and on. The benefits are endless. I could talk about how holding on to body fat in society is actually extremely negative, in that within society, culture basically creates everything with toxins, free radicals, chemicals, and believe it or not, it's in everything we do. It's in new cars, it's in clothes, it's in perfumes. Everything we utilize on a given day contains free radicals and toxins, even the food we eat. And we absorb this into our body fat. So believe it or not, this day and age, in order to be extremely healthy, you have to be extremely lean. Now, this doesn't apply to animals in nature that need to gain a bunch of body fat so that they can survive the harsh winters. They live in the wild. They're not experiencing the chemicals and the free radicals, the toxins that human beings experience every single day. So, believe it or not, this day and age, within culture, it's more effective to be lean, because the leaner you are, the less body fat you have ultimately, the less visceral fat you have ultimately, the less fat you have, the less free radicals your body's storing, less toxins your body's storing. When you have a lot of abundance of fat in your body, believe it or not, your body's actually storing a lot of toxins within that fat, which could eventually cause cancer. These free radicals are stored in your fat. So it's very important to stay lean within society and culture these days as a human being. It's crazy. It's truly mind-boggling, because everything has free radicals, toxins, and chemicals within them. So it's very, very important you stay lean. So walking has changed my life. I know walking can change yours. I highly recommend you consider applying this to your ritual. Give it 1 month, and I want you to be consistent. And I want you to track your entire walk, so you know that you're walking 3 miles. Make sure you're walking 3 miles no matter what. And you can download an application on your cell phone that tracks your steps or tracks the distance of which you walked. That's what I did for the first week. And then once I established the distance and established my route, I would basically do that route every single day. And I turn it into a consistent route. I don't change the route. I consistently do the same exact route. In doing so, you go into this robotic phase, this flow, of which you don't even realize you're walking after a few months. Sometimes I don't even know I'm walking. I'm just flowing. I'm thinking. And then by the end of my walk, I'm like, whoa, did I just walk 4 miles? And my entire next day is planned. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to accomplish. It's pretty amazing. So be consistent. The more consistent you are with this routine, the more effective this routine will be, the more impactful it will be to your lifestyle. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Just a few ways that walking has benefited my life. Remember, walk all at once, 3 miles minimum, right after dinner if possible. That's best case scenario, right after dinner. And if you're out to eat with friends, go for a walk around town. If you had a late dinner and it's dark out, go for a late night walk. Just make sure you walk with some kind of clothing that makes it clear that you're out there walking, and or around a neighborhood of which no cars are around. Walk safe, build up. Don't walk too fast at first. I don't want you to injure yourself. I want you to start at a basic pace, get used to the feeling, allow your joints and body to evolve and adapt. And then over time, once you start feeling more durable, I want you to bump up that speed. And then after a few months, I want you to flow. I want you to cruise through those 3 miles fast. And I want you to remember to think. Take a moment every now and then to appreciate nature, but for the most part, as you're walking, I want you to think. Plan your next day, and don't think about anything derogatory. In fact, treat this as a bit of meditation in a sense. When you meditate, you acknowledge when you're thinking about negative things, And when you acknowledge that you're thinking about negative things and you stop yourself from thinking about negative things and you remove them from your mentality, you're teaching yourself to be more positive. You're teaching yourself not to acknowledge the negativities in life. So do that. If you find yourself thinking about derogatory things, acknowledge it, remove it, start planning your day. Anyway, I've talked for too long. Thanks for tuning in, guys and gals. God bless. Add this ritual to your life. If you have any more questions, leave them below, and I look forward to answering them. Talk to you soon, guys.